Hello everybody and welcome to the YouTube channel, The Big Black American Secret. My name is Daniel Jackson. And if you haven't already, please take a minute to subscribe, like, and share this video. Today I want to talk to you folks about the NFAC, the Not Fucking Around crew. They had a gun formation this weekend that was really awesome. I really enjoyed seeing it. And it is something that black Americans need. We have needed it for a long time, so I'm glad that time has come. And one thing I have noticed is that black people, influencers, people who normally post a lot about a lot of things, they're quiet on this subject. And it's because of fear. There ain't no other way around it. Black people who talk a lot about a lot of different subjects, usually current events, are very boisterous on most topics. But right now, they're as quiet as crickets. Just like big news organ channels, CBS, NBC, ABC, quiet as crickets, church mice. And it's all because of fear. People, I urge you, and I'm going to put the link in the video. It's Dr. Frances Cress Welsing's video on racism, white supremacy. Matter of fact, from now on, I'm going to put that video is going to be a link on all my videos because of how important it is. I'll also link the video that started me down the path for me knowing what I know, which is Kurimio Aha's video, part 1 from Indigenous American to African American by Kurimio Aha, and Dr. Frances Cress Welsing video, the name of it is The Cress Theory of Color Confrontation and Racism, White Supremacy. Now, back to the topic of the NFAC. Because of the system of racism and white supremacy, because of our indoctrination through all of these hundreds of years, black Americans have a reasonable fear that when we stand up, we will be killed. Dr. Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Medgar Evers, the list goes on and on. You understand? So the fear is righteous. The fear is for real, for real. But at the same time, we've come to a point where we can no longer be fearful. We must be at a point now that we just liberty or death. That being said, that was a quote I think from one of the forefathers of America, one of the European forefathers. In fact, I did a little research on what actually does it mean to be a militia, because again, the NFAC is a black militia, and it's called the Not Fucking Around crew. And they're a black militia. Okay, so why is that important? That's important because America, because of racism, white supremacy, has bullied, beaten, and killed black people without retribution, without any fear of being checked. That's a fact. Now, I'm on a Google search and I'll read what it says. It says, a militia, when properly formed, are in fact the people themselves, and include, according to the past and general usage of the states, all men capable of bearing arms. To preserve liberty, it is essential that the whole body of the people always possess arms, and to talk alike, especially when young, how to use them. See what I'm saying? It's not only our right to own and carry guns to protect ourselves. We need to create a militia to protect ourselves from a tyrannical government. You see what I'm saying? From a system of an organization or a government that's operating as tyrants. Now, what we might be thinking, okay, well, Daniel, you were saying some pretty decent shit up until about 2 seconds ago. Our government is not tyrannical. You understand what I'm saying? We not living in a third world country where we got a dictator and he's cutting people's heads off, right? Right or wrong? Well, you would say right, because we're in America. We're in this free country, right? Here's what you don't see, and here's what you don't know. America, when it comes to black people, is very tyrannical, and I'm gonna prove it to you. Now, I'm gonna go back and do a little history. Back in 1492, Christopher Columbus came to the Americas, specifically the Caribbean islands. He started enslaving the indigenous people there, i.e., Aboriginal Americans, and I'll get to that. And he was granted the okay from the Roman Catholic Church. In fact, matter of fact, I got it pulled up here. And I'm going to show it to you in a second. Okay, yeah. I'm going to see if I can turn this around for you. If I can. Okay, so maybe I'll just turn my phone around. Okay. I don't know how that works, so. And I do apologize. Let's see something here. Okay, so I'm apparently not doing that right. But I'm not sure if I'm going to turn this around and see if you can see it. But in 1493, the Pope asserts rights to colonize, convert, and enslave indigenous people. Okay? And this is Pope Alexander the Sixth. That's his name right there. Pope Alexander issued a papal bull or decree, it's called the Intercatera, in which he authorized Spain and Portugal to colonize the Americas and its native peoples as subjects. The decree asserts the rights of Spain and Portugal to colonize, convert, and enslave. It also justifies the enslavement of Africans. Okay? Now, I hope you saw that for this video's sake. So, in 1492, Christopher Columbus started enslaving the indigenous people. In 1493, the Catholic Church was like, hey, boom, go do your thing. You feel what I'm saying? Completely with it. And I'll talk about that on a whole nother different video, because that's some fucked up shit. The church, the Christian church. Think about it. Let that soak in for a minute. Okay, now. So at that point, Aboriginal people are considered subjects to Spain. Okay? Very important. Subjects. Now, you fast forward a little bit. The Spanish and Portugal was making a lot of money on the slave trade. The English, who was probably one of their biggest customers, I'm sure they were, because they were shipping slaves not only to Spain, even West Africa, parts of Europe. They were also selling slaves here to the American colonies. Now, England says, hey, we need to get in on this slave trade and make us some money. You know, we want to cut out the middleman. And that's exactly what they did. So what they did was they created a company. In fact, King James, the person who commissioned the writing of the rewriting of the Bible, his family created a company called the Royal African Company. The charter for this company, or the official goings-ons of this company, as far as on paper, was that they were going to be trading for slaves in West Africa. But that ain't what they did. That was a pirating operation. They were pirating Spanish ships in the Caribbean. Those 20 and odd Negroes in 1619 were pirated off a Spanish ship in 1619. You can Google search all of that. I promise you it's there. I can't go into it deep, but I'm going somewhere with this. And it's focused on the NFAC, the Not Fucking Around crew. Okay? So, England got involved in the slave trade. They started pirating Spanish ships, getting themselves their own slaves. They also was enslaving people here in the United States, inland. Okay, now there is in fact, the transatlantic slave trade was simply a cover story for the real slave trade, which was called the International Indigenous American Slave Trade. Feel free to Google that. I'll leave that in the comment section so you could, as a reminder. You know, but that slave trade is what actually took place here in the Americas. They would enslave someone in Florida, enslave an indigenous Aboriginal American in Florida, put that person on a ship, send them up to New York, as an example. When that indigenous person got off that ship, they were an African slave. I promise you. That's exactly what the fuck happened. The shit is so... I can't even say it no different than this. These people didn't cover their tracks very well. I say it just like that. Everything I've just told you so far can be Google searched. But you've been misdirected. You've been taught to think and look elsewhere for the truth. Okay? But the truth is exactly what it is. Again, you can Google the International Indigenous American Slave Trade. It took place at the same time that the so-called transatlantic slave trade was happening. The person I follow, Dane Calloway, he first sparked my interest in this subject when he said the transatlantic slave trade was told to us in reverse. Kurimio Aha, someone else who I follow, who teaches a whole lot on this subject. Please follow him. Please follow Dane Calloway. Kurimio Aha. His videos, research and chronology, are excellent. You know, and like I said, I'll put that first video I watched from him in the comment section, okay, so that you'll have access to it. Here's what I want you to do with that information. Watch the video by Dr. Francis Cress Welsing, because of the system of racism and white supremacy, our mind has blinders on. You know, we're not allowed to think in certain ways. In fact, to do so hurts us mentally and physically sometimes. What do I mean when I say that? Well, let's take the topic of religion. If you're a Christian or a Muslim or a Jewish person, if anybody speaks against any of those religions, it personally makes you feel a certain way. You understand what I'm saying? But I just told you, the Christian church okayed the enslavement of the indigenous people here in the Americas. So that kind of makes you want to think twice about religion. Religion simply is the is the indoctrination arm of the system of racism and white supremacy. I'm not going to get deep into that. I have other videos discussing it. Please, again, join this, subscribe to this channel, like and share. Very important. And it's so important that Black Americans finally start to understand who they really are. We are not African slaves. Again, Kurimio Aha videos will show you all the proof in the world. I've got videos on the subject that'll help you. You know, but I'm gonna stay focused right here. Right now I'm talking about the fact that the Aboriginal American were considered subjects here in America to the European colonists. First with Spain and Portugal, then with the other European countries, because they all on this continent got involved in the slave trade. The International Indigenous American Slave Trade lasted from the 1400s, the 15th century, to the to the late 1800s. In fact, actually into the 1900s, which is the 19th century. There were 94 documented Indian wars with the sole purpose of enslaving indigenous people. Again, Google or look it up when you finish this video. The International Indigenous American Slave Trade. You can't make this shit up, people. The truth is like, bam, it's right here in your face. But you have not been allowed to look at it. It's like, oh no, look over here. Oh no, look over here. You see what I'm saying? But my goal is to just give it to you straight, no chaser. And if you can handle it straight, no chaser, you're the right person to be right here, right now. And it's your job to, once you get turned on and you fully understand this information, you share it with people that follow you and people you know. Okay, now getting back to the NFAC. We're subjects. We are subject to the European nations, specifically right now, America. Now, why is that important? Well, if you're a subject, you're not a citizen. Okay? Now, on paper, it'll say all day long that we're citizens, because they want that tax money from us. But how do you know? How do you know exactly if you're a citizen or not? It's how you are treated. Black people are treated harshly in America. Black people are treated harshly throughout the world. But since I'm American, we're going to talk about America. You understand what I'm saying? Now, there is no secret anymore that cops kill black people disproportionately here in America. The George Floyd incident was a reawakening of that harsh fact. The guy that got beat, Rodney King, back in the 90s, was an inkling. It was videotaped. See, the things have always been happening. They've been hanging, robbing, burning, and killing us and raping us since we met these people, since they came over here. You know what I'm saying? But it was not video recorded. You know what I'm saying? It just it wasn't documented. So if a white person say this what happened, and that's what happened. They consider you a bad person, that's why they hung you, that's why they hung you. You see what I'm saying? You had no say. You had no proof of your say. And the reason why that Rodney King thing, we were so mad as black people, because finally it was video recorded and the cops got off. Oh, we was fucking pissed. You feel what I'm saying? Because we thought finally, here is documented video proof of what we've been going through. Surely we will get justice. You see what I'm saying? Didn't happen. Now fast forward to what happened to George Floyd. See what I'm saying? He was killed, public execution, mercilessly, innocent man, unarmed, helpless, defenseless, knee on his neck, killed him. Police officers initially weren't even arrested. They were given a vacation, administrative leave, until we started protesting. After a few days of peaceful protests, nothing was going on. They were being ignored by the city and the country. The United States government. Buildings started getting burned. Windows started getting broke. Oh, then they got arrested. Or at least they arrested the person who actually had his knee on his neck. But that's not justice. Here's what justice looks like. And here's what justice means for everybody else except for cops in America. When you kill somebody, you're quickly arrested, you're quickly convicted. You quickly have a trial and you're quickly convicted based on the evidence. That's justice. That has not been happening in police killings, especially of black people. Unheard of. See what I'm saying? And that's why we protest. That's why the looting and burning took place to some degree. From what I understand, there was a whole bunch of other stuff going on. Other groups were trying to use that opportunity to cause mischief, but it helped. I shit you not, it helped. Peaceful protests don't mean shit. That's why I'm talking about this subject about the NFAC. We've been doing this shit wrong for so long. The government wants you to be a peaceful protester. Why? Hell, if you peaceful, what you gonna do? You peaceful. You ain't gonna break nothing. You ain't gonna do nothing. I may hear you, I may not. You feel what I'm saying? And that's what they've been doing. They have not been hearing us. Okay, so not to get sidetracked, we're subjects to Europeans here in America. Based on how we're being treated, we are subjects. Now, one of the founding fathers. Oh, and I'm also going to show you a little video in this video, if you don't mind. Okay? And it's of the NFAC. They did a gun formation in Stone Mountain, Georgia this weekend. And I was so very proud to see that. Now, again, a lot of our people are afraid of that black presence, armed black presence. You feel what I'm saying? And the reason they feel that way is because we've been so conditioned by racism, white supremacy, is that to be afraid, to be scared, to be unarmed, to be a victim, a helpless victim. You understand what I'm saying? Matter of fact, had we had probably have been better armed, slavery probably would not have taken place. Now, I ain't saying it wouldn't. I'm just saying that if both me and you both armed, we go into battle, we go into war. But if I have no arms and you got arms, then it's going to be pretty one-sided. And it's been that way for a long time. After you came out of slavery, you weren't allowed to own guns as a black person, as a black man. After, let's not even talk about chattel slavery, because chattel slavery was a slave for life. Let's talk about indentured servitude. After the Bacon's Rebellion, after your contract of hire was up 7 to 10 years, if you were white, you're allowed to own land, buy a gun, own slaves. But if you were black, nope. None of that. None of that. In fact, that was the time around when the term white came to an existence. I ain't got time to get into all that too. I got a video about it, about the Bacon's Rebellion thing. But anyway, I'm pointing that out to say that owning guns has always been a no-no for black Americans, because this government wants us defenseless. Yes, we have a right to own a gun, but if they do everything in their power to tell you or make you think that you shouldn't own a gun, then you ain't gonna own a gun. I give you an example. You kind of advertise to black people that, oh, guns are unsafe. You know, if you have them in your house, you may accidentally kill your kids, some shit like that. You know, you think a certain way about having a gun. For years, I kid you not, for years before I bought my first gun, I actually didn't want guns around my house, so that I didn't want my kids to find a gun accidentally and blow their damn brains out. You know what I'm saying? Not thinking that just lock your gun up. You see what I'm saying? But they make us think through clever advertisement that if you have a gun in your house, your kid gonna get hold to it and kill themselves. That ain't the whole. The reason they tell you that is so you'll be unprotected. They don't give a shit about your kids. Never have. You see what I'm saying? Slick little shit like that is what's done. You know what I'm saying? But because of the George Floyd thing and all the other stuff that came before it, black people just ain't. We fed the fuck up and we ain't having the shit no more. Period. I know the fuck I am. When George Floyd died, me seeing that video, I was on that ground with a white dude's knee in my neck. I died that day. I got a video. I mentioned that on there. Now, we're subjects to Europeans, especially here in America, white people, because I'm talking about America. Okay? Now, one of our forefathers mentioned, the minute you arm yourself, you are no longer a subject, you become a citizen. Instantly. The minute you arm yourself, you are no longer a subject, you are a citizen. Very important. In fact, it's fucking eye-opening. Citizens are treated differently than subjects. When you're a subject to someone, it's just what the fuck it means. You're subject to them. They're gonna treat your ass any old kind of way. You feel what I'm saying? Because it ain't equal. They'll do anything and everything to you, and they have been doing to us. You know? Now, so the NFAC is basically showing us a blueprint of how we need to be armed and ready to go to war to defend ourselves. Because war was declared on us by Christopher Columbus in 1492. It was given a stamp of approval by the Roman Catholic Church in 1493. Matter of fact, May 4th 1493, about 6 months later, after Christopher Columbus came over here and had his little kidnapping party and started enslaving us, right? So, war was declared on us. That war never ended. It was never undeclared. Do you understand? In fact, we have been made to think, what do you mean war was declared? I just told you. It's in public records. The Roman Catholic Church decreed it. To decree something means to declare. War was declared on us. They were allowed to colonize the Americas and enslave its people, i.e. us, Black Americans. Black Americans are the only true Americans. I can prove that to you right now with a simple Google search, and I'll put that definition probably in the description too. Google this on your cell phone, if you can right now, on your computer. 1828 definition of American. And when you do, have a 1-cent copper penny with you that matches the color of the back of your hand. You're going to be surprised at the answer. Yeah, you've been viciously lied to. The Indians in our history book is simply a Mongolian breed of Asian people that came across the Bering Straits 12,000 years ago, proven by paleontologists, folks that dig up bones. We've been here since creation. We are aboriginal. That definition you look up will tell you exactly that. Now, getting back to the militia. And again, this video is I want to focus on the fear that Black people have of seeing a Black militia, and hopefully I want to help dispel that fear, because it's exactly that. Fear, those here's what fear spells. F-E-A-R. False evidence appearing real. False evidence appearing real. Our fear is unfounded. We don't need it. It's unnecessary. Legally, we have the right to arm ourselves. Coming together as a militia is something you should do if you are part of a governmental system, because that government can turn tyrannical at any time. Black Americans live under a racist, tyrannical regime of a white racist government. It's proven. You may have never heard it said like that, but it's abso-fucking-lutely true. So Black Americans especially need to be armed, and we especially need to be a part of a militia. See what I'm saying? That's the only way to have equal footing. The National Police Force, especially here in America, but really around the world, the National Police Force is the enforcement arm of the system of racism and white supremacy. Just like religion, all religions, is the indoctrination arm of the system of racism and white supremacy. The KKK is the militia arm of the system of racism and white supremacy. Now, hopefully you're asking yourself, what is this system of racism and white supremacy? I'm glad you asked that. Go check out the video. It'll be in the description, because you need to know this. All of this stuff has been hidden from you. You are no good to the system of racism and white supremacy if you know this. And that's exactly what I want you to be. No good to the system of racism and white supremacy. If you're in that system and you're uneducated about this system, you're a slave. Period. Point blank. End of conversation. You don't know you're a slave. In fact, you think you're the freest motherfucker on the planet, when in fact you are not. I spent quite a few years in corporate America, working 9 to 5. Well, I never worked 9 to 5. Shit was more like 5 in the morning sometimes to 5 in the evening, 1 in the evening to 1 at night. You know, nobody working on 9 to 5. Well, anyway, what I'm saying is, if you are not building businesses for yourself and for your family, and your whole focus is to work for somebody else, then you're a slave. I can't say it no different than that. Now, if you have a passion for a certain position or job you want to work for, that's fine. Do that, because that's your passion. But be building generational wealth elsewhere. You know, I don't know, own stocks, create other companies. You know, you see what I'm saying? But knowing that this land, this landmass is yours, belongs to your people and your children once you leave here, should put your mindset in a different frame of mind. Because before I knew this, I did think a little bit about, you know, the future, my children, grandchildren. But this puts me on a whole nother level of thinking about it. You understand what I'm saying? And hopefully once you follow the trail that I'm pointing you to, you'll start to understand this as well, and you'll start to move differently. Now, getting back to NFAC, right now we're subjects to a racist, white supremacist government and system. Fact. That being the case, a lot of black people, when we see an armed black militia, especially, you know, because some of us get freaked out when we just see an armed black man, and it's due completely to conditioning. When black people kill each other, it's heavily advertised. When white people kill each other, you don't hear shit about it. It makes the world think we crazy fucking lunatics. And it especially make us think that about ourselves. That's on purpose. The main news organs, the white news organs, NBC, ABC, CBS, those are the propaganda arms of the system of racism, white supremacy. What do I mean? Their job is to paint white people in the best possible light, period. Movies are propaganda arms of the system of racism, white supremacy, for the same reason. The purpose is to paint white people in the best light possible, while at the same time degrading black people or other nationalities of people. The system is very simple once you understand it. The equation for racism, white supremacy is simply this. It equals white over all non-white, and black is at the bottom. As a kid, what was the saying? And you'll hear this in Dr. Francis Cress Welson's video, and I may ruin it, but it says if you're black, get back. Brown, stick around. Yellow, you're mellow. White, you're right. You know what I'm saying? And those were little songs that we sang as kids, not knowing what they meant. We thought they was just colors, but no, those were nationalities, so to speak. Because hopefully you follow me, and you'll start to understand that there was really no such. Well, I put it to you like this: we call ourselves black people, and don't get me wrong, we on Team Black. Racism is a team sport. You got white people, and you got everybody else. You feel what I'm saying? And the polar opposites of that is white and then black. You feel what I'm saying? But here's something that you'll learn. The 1 cent copper penny, if you look up the color of the 1 cent copper penny, it's brown and or red. Brown and or red. And again, if you find one that matches the back of your hand, this one is close, it's a little shiny. This one's probably a little better. See what I'm saying? What was the Indians called by the Europeans? The red man. What they really were saying was the brown man. You know, but we just varying degrees of brown. From light skinned, damn near white, to blue black, jet black. You feel what I'm saying? And our hair ranges in texture from straight, damn near straight like Europeans, to kintinati. You know, like some of our brothers in Africa. You know what I'm saying? So we're Team Black by default, because racism is a team sport, but we're all just different shades of brown. I hope y'all understand that. Now, getting back to this fear, when black people see other black people with guns, it's unfounded and it's false evidence appearing real. We need to get over it very quickly so we can get to the next rung on the ladder. And the next rung on the ladder is being comfortable with protecting ourselves and our families. You understand what I'm saying? The Black Militia is the best thing that could have ever happened to our people. period. And I saw a video. This one white guy was saying, "Oh, the Black Militia is very bad for America." Of course, a white person gonna think that, because the system of racism, white supremacy, has to have everybody unarmed except for them. Everybody else need to be helpless except them, so that they can rule over them and do whatever the fuck they want to do to them. See what I'm saying? So it's time out for that. Black people ain't going back. Back don't exist for us. We're gonna forge forward. And I don't speak violence at all, because violence ain't necessary in none of these situations. You understand what I'm saying? If racist white people wake up and realize that they are racist, and to just change their fucking ways, stop treating people like shit, then we all live a happier life. Give us what's due to us. Allow everybody to live and let live. We will have a very peaceful existence. We'll see what happens in the future. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna show you this video now, because again, it's the NFAC, and I'm disappointed that a lot of our people are not proud of what they saw, are not locking arms and celebrating. So on this channel, we celebrate it. I'm a gun owner, and every black American needs to be a gun owner. Teach your children gun safety and how to shoot. It's only good common sense. And it's your natural right. It ain't fuck a constitutional right. It's your natural right to protect yourself and arm yourself. Okay? So I'm gonna cue this video, and hopefully I'm gonna turn this phone around and see if you can see it. So
threat, counter threat, because threats don't mean shit to us. Y'all been threatening us since Birmingham. I ain't seen shit. When it's July the 4th, and all you scary ass Negroes that pass that shit around, look at what the fuck you did. You made blacks come out. I don't see no white militia. So to the boogie boys, the 3%ers, and all the rest of you scared ass rednecks, we here. Where the fuck you at? We in your house. Let's go. NFAC, motherfucker. NFAC. Jefferson said that when you arm yourself, you go from being a subject to a citizen. Just like that. See, when you ain't got no gun, we got the subject in custody. Right? But when you arm yourself, you're an armed citizen. You know why? Because they don't respect anyone that they don't see as an equal. And we got to make them see us as equals. Hallelujah. So y'all see this shit? We've never set foot up here before. Now look around. Oh, they big mad right now. You know, I heard that they said they were going to kill us.
now, he says something real important now. He says we have to make them see us as equals. Arming ourselves, show them that as far as firepower, we're on equal footing. As far as not giving a fuck, and I'm going to give my life to have things that I need and want the right way, tips the balance. Because I guarantee you, a lot of them motherfuckers ain't willing to give their life. You understand what I'm saying? So they understand, no, we not fucking around. Time's up. Time's the fuck up. See what I'm saying? I'm definitely not fucking around. When a cop kill an innocent person, especially a black person, there will be first-degree murder charges placed on that individual. He will be arrested. There will be a trial, a quick trial, and a quick conviction. Period. Those are the demands as far as police brutality go. You understand what I'm saying? Now, everything else will work out later. Right now, what we want to address right now, mostly, what I want to address mostly, I can't speak for everybody, is I ain't going to even call it police reform. Because I don't really believe you can reform someone who is racist in their soul and heart. If that motherfucker just mentally ill like that, he going to be mentally ill. but there should be consequences for his fucked up actions. Just like there are consequences for my fucked up actions if I fuck up. I kill somebody, an innocent person, I'm going under the fucking jail the next day or the same day. Should be the same for anybody else. So equality is what he just said. Equal footing. For the longest, black people's like, well, you know, if we get our education and we dress and wear a tie and talk proper, white people will think we're good like them, and everything will be fine. No, no, they don't care nothing about that. It ain't got shit to do with you and how you act. Racism, white supremacy is innate. It's genetic. Don't get me wrong. I ain't trying to tell you something. I just want you watch the video so you understand what it is. But what I'm saying is we have tried everything in the past. Black people have tried to act white. Didn't work. Ain't gonna work. They don't respect you. Now it's time for us to respect ourselves. Be black men. Stand on our own 2 feet. Protect our square. And move forward. Bravely move forward. Kill everything in front of you if it poses a threat to your life and your family. And keep moving. That's it. Simple. Live life in harmony with those around you. Don't put up with no shit from nobody. Period. Common fucking sense. All we looking for is an equal existence, reparations, and fairness. Now you have to understand something. And I know I piss a lot of people off when I say this, because it's true. Documentatively true. The ground you walking on belongs to you. The ground under your feet is your shit. You see what I'm saying? So to me, what fair means and what somebody else think is fair may be 2 different things. But I'm the only real true American. You are the only true real American. White people love telling people to go back to where they came from, but guess what? Them's motherfuckers from Europe. They're foreign aliens. You understand what I'm saying? Matter of fact, the corporation of the United States is an illegal corporation operating on foreign soil. Simple. Them motherfuckers legally don't belong here. This our shit. But am I saying we don't want to share it with white people? No, no. But you will not be here any longer just doing all this evil shit for free. All that tax money that's due need to come to black people. To me, that's reparations. You own my land, you gonna pay some fucking rent. Period. I ain't having no conversation about that. That's where I'm going with it. If you want to stay here in my house, you gonna pay some fucking rent. Because this is my house. And on that note, I'm gonna end this video. I'm very proud of the NFAC. I'm very proud of the fact of people watching it. And I do know secretly in our hearts of heart, black people, we do support it. We just, because of the system of racism, white supremacy, we have that fear. And the fear, it'll fall away. The more you see it, the more it'll fall away. You understand what I'm saying? So, welcome to our new reality. We gotta we gotta heal the climb. But I know in my heart, if we know truly, and we do the research, and we prove it to ourselves and for ourselves, who we really are and what really belongs to us, we'll move differently, we'll act differently, and we'll just bring justice to this planet. First to America and then to the world. Because that's the way it's going to be. We are not a violent people. We never have been. Did our people have conflicts? One tribe living next to another one. Yeah, whenever you live in close proximity, you're going to have land right issues and hunting issues, and they did. But it wasn't what they'll make you think it was. In fact, when our people fought each other, had little wars, when one side won, they took slaves. That's a fact. You'll find that out when you do the research. But those slaves at one point were welcomed into that new tribe. That's a new blood stream. You can't keep having sex with your you ain't finna keep having sex with your family members. That's called inbreeding. So wars, captured slaves in a war from indigenous tribes were welcomed into that family. Were allowed to marry women in that family, and it caused you bringing new blood into that tribe. Here's what the Europeans did when they noticed there was a war going on and the chief had some slaves. He said, "Hey, chief, what you gonna do with them slaves?" And he go, "Well, hell, I don't know. Shit, the war just happened yesterday, and I won, and I got some slaves. I ain't trying to figure out which one of these motherfuckers gonna marry which one of my damn daughters. I don't know." He said, "I tell you what, chief, since you don't really know right now, why don't you give you this gun and you let me have those slaves?" You know what? White man, that might work. Give me the gun. You can take these slaves. And that's how the shit started. That's how slavery started. They saw what we were doing. They found a way to monopolize and own it. I promise you, this shit you can't make up. It's right in the fucking history books. If you allow yourself to see it. Be brave enough. Be brave enough to do some research. And it ain't simple. The research I'm pointing you to are fucking videos. You watch videos for free. This shit is simple. Force yourself to see it, ingest it, think about it, allow yourself to feel whatever emotions you're going to feel, because I know when I started learning this, I went through the 5 stages of grief. I promise you I did. I didn't know I did, but I did. Denial, bargaining. It's 5 of them. At the end one is going to be acceptance. Because what's happening is, I'm telling you, you are not an African slave. But your whole life you grew up thinking you were an African slave. So right away, I'm offending you. I'm offending you. Because I'm telling you, you ain't who the fuck you is. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? So I don't accept you to get this right away. No. I expect you to be a little prick, a little hurt a little bit. I done hit you a little bit, and you're like, oh, fuck me. But he might be saying something that's true, though, because I've been lied to a lot on a lot of different levels. So maybe what he's saying is true. So this video has told you something that you may not have heard before. So now you are a little in denial. You'll move to bargaining. You know, eventually you'll get to acceptance, but you're gonna go through a little process, and that's cool. I went through my process. Now, I don't want you to take long on this process because we have work to do. We got work to do. You understand what I'm saying? This ain't some shit you're gonna contemplate your whole fucking life. We don't know where we're gonna be tomorrow, especially with all this COVID-19 shit going on. So I need y'all to get y'all motherfucking acts together as quick as y'all can and get through this information. Again, I'm gonna put in the description about those videos you need to see. And you do the work. Watch those videos. Get some popcorn. Sit down and just watch the fucking videos. Be offended all you want, but watch the goddamn videos. Okay? Grow the fuck up. You're a grown man I'm talking to. You're a grown woman I'm talking to. It's time for end the bullshit. Hopefully you got your big boy and big girl drawers on. Because all that bullshit is in the past. Man up, woman up. It's time to grow. It's time to do better. Okay? On that note, I'm going to end this live. Remember, I'm going to end this video. It's not a live. But remember, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe, hit the bell so that you'll be notified of other videos and when I do go live. My goal is to make a video, hell, a day if I can, because I need this information to go viral. I need us all to know who the fuck we are and how much we've been lied to. And I know it's a hard subject because, again, it goes straight against your identity. But once you blow through that, you're going to realize you're gaining way more than you're losing. You're gaining way more than you're losing, because what you're gaining is your true identity. You understand what I'm saying? And that's got to be more precious than any of the bullshit that you've been taught up to now. You understand what I'm saying? So, hey, put on your seatbelt, watch the videos, enjoy the motherfucking ride. All right? Peace out.